Good morning, this is Lori of Lori's Happy Stamps, and today I'm going to be talking about the Hearts for You January 2025 Paper Pumpkin kit and alternatives for it. So this video is created for my group that meets the first Friday of each month on Zoom. And so this video is for our Friday Zoom, Friday, February 7th at 10 a.m. So let's get started. I have lots of alternatives from 7 to 10, depending on how you want to count them. So the first thing off, I am focusing on alternatives, but I did want to show you, I did make the cards. I made card 1 here, and I made card 2, and I made card 3. And as of yesterday, when I checked, the refills for this kit are available. So if you like it, grab them while you have a chance. Today, I'm going to show you how you can make a whole lot more cards without a refill kit. So let's get started. Cards number 1, 2, and 3 are just really a riff on cards 1, 2, and 3 here, because I have created a little bit more by cutting my card bases in half. So when you cut your card base in half, you just need to mount it on a piece of basic white or cardstock. And this is Flirty Flamingo cardstock at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I've used an insert piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. And you can see the card looks basically the same. I did keep the little pieces that I punched out here, and I kept the piece from inside here, and you'll see how I use that a little bit later. And so instead of using the twine all the way around, I took 13 inches, folded it in half, and created a double bow here. So you're my favorite. And on the inside, I took a 1/4 inch of that extra strip of the card base that I now had available and glued it inside, added a little heart. So that's how you create card number 1. And so you actually essentially make 2 for every one of these. Pretty good deal. And then I cut around the piece, I fussy cut a little heart from the leftover on the heart and put it on the front of the envelope. So that is it. And so for card number 2, I mixed these up, so hold on just a second so I keep my things in order the right way. You know how I am with that. Okay, so for card number 2, again, I have doubled this card by cutting the card base in half and mounting it on a piece of real red that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then on the inside, I have a white liner that is 4 by 5 1/4. I stamped "You Have My Heart." I stamped the little heart here, and I fussy cut another one of the outlines of the gold and glued it on here. Added a piece of a 1/4 inch from the card base there. And then the front looks essentially the same as the original card. For the envelope, I took one of the seals that they're suggesting that you put on the back, and I put it on the front instead of adding it to the back. And on the back, I took my sweet little jelly roll pen that you'll see me using again. Just put a heart and some little dots. So that's card number 2. Card number 3, again, I cut the card base in half, and it's a white card base. So what I did is I just simply added a piece of basic white, 4.5 by, let's see, 4 1/4 by 5.5. Sorry, I got that wrong. 4 1/4 by 5.5. Glued it on there. So then what I did is the inside of the sticker I used for the inside here, and also stamped a heart. And then instead of having 6 rows, I only used 5 rows, which really made it actually easy to line up, because I did this row, then this row, then the middle row, and I just eyeballed them. And then the distance between these two, I did this one, the distance between this one and this one, I did that row. So bumped them up, and so 5 rows instead of 6. Then I was creating more product for myself to play with. I added one of the hearts from the punch out in card number 1. Added the love here, the U, same thing as the first card. But again, I doubled my twine and made a double bow. And so that's about 13 inches of twine to create that bow. So that is card number 3. Really easy, right? And lots of fun. And jazzed them up quite a bit, I think. All right. Now for card number 4, we start getting a little more creative. And so for this card, you are going to need your own white envelope. And I have provided a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 card base. So you're going to use that. And then I've also given you some gold foil hearts, and those are from the very cute stamp set. Where is that? Or die set that came as a recommended add-on. It's called Spring is in the Air, and so it goes for paper pumpkins December, January, and February. So I used this die, and it cuts out this little skinny piece, and it also cuts out the big heart, which is nice. And so $12 for that set, and I think it's really worth it. I like the honeycomb piece and the bee coming up for next month, which will be fun. All right. So then what I did is I glued my hearts on here, and then I embossed it. And I embossed it with that free embossing folder in Celebration, which is called Starburst, I think it is. And I've also given you some ribbon, and you're going to need one of your sentiment pieces from your kit. And I stamped it with Pretty in Pink. You're my favorite, but you can use any color. I've also given you a piece of foil to glue on the back of your envelope to make it look jazzy. And you are simply going to wrap this around your card and tie your bow right here. And I used a glue dot underneath here to secure it. So the glue dots that came in the kit. And then I added 3 of the embellishment pieces. Isn't that a cute card? And then on the inside, there's a little piece of the gold, and then I stamped 3 pretty in pink hearts. I also gave you some extra of this paper, so if you want to play with it, cut something else out to make more, you are welcome to do that. And so that is card number 4. I love that meshy ribbon. It's really pretty. Okay, and card number 5 is, looks like this. And so you are going to use your card base and just fold it in half and then fold it back 1.5 inches. So I folded it inside out and then folded it in half, and then I stuck it up on dimensionals. And then I've given you some hearts. So you've got hearts to add, and I embossed the big heart with some butterflies from the new embossing folder, butterfly embossing folder, because I thought they were so pretty. You're going to need a piece of white that is 2¼ by 5¼ and that is going to be glued on the inside of your card base. And then I've given you some little random pieces of white so that you can stamp your love and you, and then I just fussy cut around them and we'll be adding them to the hearts. I cut out the hearts for you. Again, that embossed one is going to go on the bottom, and then this one is going to go flat here. Then I bumped this one up on dimensionals here, then added the love and the U, and I also stamped some pretty in pink hearts that go down the side and one down at the bottom on the inside. I gave you some Most Adored paper from last year so that you could do your envelope, and then I added a heart on the outside of the card. So cute card. I love it. I hope you enjoy it too. And then card number 6, again, we're doing the same kind of fold back, but this time we're folding back all the way to 2 1/8. And I've given you some Most Adorned paper again, and and a piece of, you need to cut a piece of basic white that is 4 1/4 by 5½ and glue it to the back so that you get some heft. And then you're going to need a 1 7/8 by 5 1/4 inch piece to glue in here. And I've also given you the option, if you want to use one of the card bases from the kit, it's the same thing. Fold it inside out first, and then fold it back in half, which is at 2 1/4 or 2 1/8, and then you can do the same thing. So then you want to stamp You're My Favorite on a piece of this is 1/4 inch, half inch piece of basic white, and then you're going to cut the pieces up. So You're My Favorite become 3 pieces instead of 1. And then I used 3 of the outside envelope labels, seals, and I put 2 on here, 1 on here. I gave you a little bit of black ribbon to make a bow knot, and I attached it with a glue dot. These are bumped up on dimensionals. I added black and red dots or hearts, and I think that is a cute kind of masculine Valentine. And I covered my envelope flap, and then I used the black and red hearts again on the outside. So that is card number 6. And then we have cards 7, 8, 9, and 10 using my favorite technique to expand the paper pumpkin kits, and that is when you take a piece of basic white and you score it, you cut it down to 8 by 10.5, and then you score it at 4 and 5 1/4, and then on the score lines you stamp all around and use whatever stamps you want. This card has a leaf stamp and a heart stamp and an open heart stamp that are perfect for creating that. And so for cards 7, 8, 9, and 10, this is what I did. So I did, and I'm just going to lay it on here so you can see how I laid out my design. So I had my paper and I didn't cut it. It's all in one piece. And what I did is I just had them all next to each other. I guess this one is maybe like this. Okay. There you go. Because the heart matches up there. You can see that. Okay. All right, so this is what I did, and all I did was take and use triadic colors. So I used Heather Highland Heather, and I used Flirty Flamingo, and I used Old Olive. And what I did is I used the biggest stamp first, and I just randomly went around the score lines. And then I did the heart, and then I did the leaf, and then cut them all up and mounted them. And you can mount them all on basic white, like I did here, or you can use the triadic colors to create them. And I also used the free purple adhesive backed sequins that come with Celebration, and I did color them with my Stampin' Blends. I used black and Old Olive for these cards, but I want to show you what I'm going to do with the next set. So I got into the triadic colors, and I used the Real Red as my base. And when I did that, I took my color wheel that you can get from Stampin' Up, the color wheel, and I put it on Real Red here, and triadic colors point to Lemon Lolly and Blue Azure. So Azure Afternoon. So I am using Real Red, Lemon Lolly, and Azure Afternoon for my next cards. And let's do a few of the stamps so you can just get an idea of what I'm doing. So I am taking, and I am going to do, I think I'm going to do the open hearts in the Azure Blue. So again, I can see my score lines here, and I am just going to, well, I'm going to just stamp on either side of those score lines as much or as little as I want. And I'm just going to make sure that it's on both sides, and just kind of twist my heart as I go along. And if it goes off the edge, that's okay. And if you make a smudge mark, it's okay. It's not any rocket science. Okay, and so now I am going to use my Real Red, and I'm going to create my Real Red. Sorry, this is making so much noise. Making my Real Red hearts here. And I'm just kind of going quickly. Wish this was it. Okay. And like this. And this one has a little smudgy, so I'm going to cover that up. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go here. So you're basically just following this score line pattern all the way around. And now if you want them to overlap, you can overlap them. I didn't on my first one, but I will here. I think it doesn't make any difference. Actually, the messier it is, the prettier it is when you're done. So don't feel like, oh, I have such a mess, because it's going to be beautiful when you're done. Okay, and so now I have my Lemon Lolly left, and ooh, off camera I just threw my ink pad all and got it on my finger, of course. Alrighty, and so now I am going to take my Lemon Lolly, and I'm going to add that all around. And I am just kind of randomly, and if it goes over the score line a little bit, that's okay. It's just going to be on both sides of the card. So okay, do I need any more? Probably don't need anything. There's plenty here. But, okay, so there I have that. So now I am going to go and cut this at 4 and 5 1/4. And then I've got 4 panels that will be glued onto my card bases. And there you have it. So I did want to bring up just to your attention. So if I used a Flirty Flamingo on here, then I tipped this stamped or this punched image, and you can use any punch. So for this, I'm using the Heartfelt Hexagon, but truly any punch that fits the sentiment that you want to use, and you could or could not use the sentiments that are in the kit, but You Have My Heart I thought was cute, and it could be for Valentine's Day or not, really. It could just be a friend card. Oh, and I wanted to show you how I colored the sequins. So as long as the color is darker than the color that you are coloring, you should be fine. But for this one, since all of these colors are not on these free gems, I am just going to do the Azure Afternoon, and then I'm going to do a row of Lemon Lolly and a row of Real Red. So just to show you, you really can use your markers and create any color that you want on your on your sequins. Okay, so there you go. I hope you enjoy this kit. And if you're in my group, I'll see you on February 7th at 10 a.m. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.